Once upon a time, in a quaint little village, nestled between rolling hills and sparkling streams, there lived a young boy named Thomas. Thomas was known throughout the village for his bright smile and lively spirit. He loved to play outdoors, climbing trees, racing with the wind, and exploring the meadows filled with colorful flowers. However, Thomas also had a mischievous side, and sometimes he found himself in a bit of trouble. One sunny afternoon, while tending to the sheep on the hillside, Thomas felt a wave of boredom wash over him. The sheep grazed peacefully, their soft bleats echoing in the gentle breeze. Thomas looked around, his eyes sparkling with mischief. He thought to himself, "What if I pretend there's a wolf? That would surely make things exciting." With a grin spreading across his face, Thomas took a deep breath and shouted at the top of his lungs, "Help! Help! A wolf is attacking the sheep!" His voice echoed through the valley, reaching the ears of the villagers who were busy with their daily chores. Startled, the villagers dropped everything and rushed towards the hillside, their hearts pounding with fear. They ran as fast as their legs could carry them, worried about the safety of the sheep and the boy they cared for. When they reached Thomas, they found him doubled over with laughter, the sheep still munching on grass, completely unharmed. "Thomas!" one of the villagers exclaimed, catching his breath. "Why would you scare us like that? There's no wolf here." Thomas laughed even harder, reveling in the attention he had received. "I just wanted to have some fun. Look, there's no harm done," he replied, still chuckling. The villagers shook their heads, some with smiles, but others with frowns. They warned him, "Thomas, it's not good to lie. You might find yourself in trouble one day." But Thomas, still caught up in his own amusement, waved them off and returned to his sheep. Days passed, and Thomas found himself growing bored again. The hills were still, the sheep were calm, and the sun shone brightly overhead. Once more, he thought of his trick. "What if I do it again, just one more time?" he said to himself, a grin creeping onto his face. So, he shouted again, "Help! Help! A wolf is attacking the sheep!" This time, the villagers were more hesitant, but the worry in their hearts compelled them to hurry to the hillside once more. When they arrived, they found Thomas laughing uncontrollably again, the sheep safe and sound. "Thomas, this is the last time we will come when you call for help," a villager warned sternly. "You must learn that lying is not a game." But Thomas just shrugged, thinking it was all in good fun. As the weeks went by, Thomas continued to play his trick. Each time he cried, "Wolf!" the villagers would come running, only to find him laughing, the sheep grazing peacefully. With each false alarm, the villagers grew more frustrated and began to lose trust in him. They would shake their heads and say, "Thomas will never change." Then, one fateful day, as Thomas sat on the hillside, he noticed something strange. A shadow moved among the trees at the edge of the meadow. His heart raced as he squinted to see better. To his shock, it was a real wolf, creeping silently towards the flock of sheep. Panic surged through him. He knew he had to act quickly to save his sheep. Without a moment's hesitation, he shouted at the top of his lungs, "Help! Help! A wolf is attacking the sheep!" He ran towards the flock, waving his arms frantically. But this time, the villagers did not come rushing to his aid. They had grown tired of his lies, and many thought he was just playing another trick. One villager called out, "We're not falling for that again, Thomas." Others murmured, "He's always joking. There's no wolf." Desperate and frightened, Thomas watched as the wolf approached the sheep. He felt a knot of fear tighten in his stomach. "Please!" he cried, his voice trembling. "This time it's real. I need your help." Finally, a few villagers, sensing the urgency in his voice, decided to investigate. They hurried to the hillside, and to their horror, they saw the wolf lurking among the sheep. With shouts of alarm, they rushed forward, brandishing sticks and stones to chase the wolf away. The villagers worked together, and after a tense few moments, they managed to scare the wolf off. Thomas watched, heart pounding, as the wolf retreated into the woods. The villagers gathered around him, their faces a mix of relief and anger. "Thomas," one villager said, "you scared us more than the wolf did. We didn't believe you because you lied so many times before. You must always tell the truth, no matter what." Thomas felt ashamed. He realized that his playful lies had consequences. He had lost the villagers' trust, and when he truly needed help, they had hesitated. With tears in his eyes, he looked up at the villagers. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I promise to be honest from now on." From that day on, Thomas learned the importance of honesty. He worked hard to regain the villagers' trust, helping them with their chores and always telling the truth. The villagers, seeing his change of heart, welcomed him back into their community. They forgave him, understanding that everyone can learn from their mistakes. As time passed, Thomas grew into a wise young man, and he often shared his story with others, teaching them the value of honesty. The village thrived, filled with laughter, trust, and a sense of community. And whenever Thomas looked out over the hills, he remembered the lesson he had learned, that honesty is always the best policy, and trust, once broken, can take time to rebuild.